Sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryaṃ karavāvahai tejasvinavadhitamastu śrīhariṃ paramānandamupadeṣṭāramīśvaram vyāpakaṃ sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ tam namāmyaham. Aparokṣānubhūtirvai procyate mokṣasiddhaye sadbhireṣā prayatnena vīkṣaṇīyā muhurmuhuḥ. śrīhariṃ paramānandam upadeṣṭāramīśvaram kāraṇaṃ sarvalokānāṃ vyāpakaṃ sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ tam namāmyaham. Namāmi. The author of this book who is Shankara, one of these Shankaracharyas. At a time, there are at least 10 Shankaracharyas in India, minimum. 4 accepted, 5 accepted with the dispute, and there are a lot of small mutts. They are all Shankaracharyas. When these 4 Shankaracharyas, east, west, south, north, there are mutts. Adi Shankara had 4 disciples, we are told. Each one is followed by a parampara called mutt. Each one is a mutt. This was not there before. This is some kind of a rub-off from the Buddhistic monasteries. Then there are so many, these 4 mutts. Suppose a Shankaracharya of one of these 4 mutts goes to Kashi, Badrinath, and returns walking. In those days, then it takes more than 12 years. Suppose he camps all over and then comes. Then before he comes, because without a head of the mutt cannot be there, therefore they install a new Shankaracharya. The old Shankaracharya comes back. When he comes to know there is a new Shankaracharya, he stops at the place where he heard the news and continues to be Shankaracharya. And then that continues to be a mutt again. Kudali Shankaracharya. You understand now? Like this, around Sringeri, there are 7 of them. All of them Harihar Pur Shankaracharya, Kudali Shankaracharya. Like this, there are so many Shankaracharyas. Then there is one Shankaracharya in the north. Is called Bhimpura, Bhanpura. Bhanpura Shankaracharya. Other Shankaracharyas, they say he is a Swayambhu. Swayambhu means apne aap calls himself Shankaracharya. Whatever, we have too many of them. So I am in the know of these Shankaracharyas now because we have Acharya Sabha. They are all members of the Sabha. There is a Pushpagiri Shankaracharya. All of them are qualified. All of them 800 years, 1,000 years old mutts they have got. They got records. They've got. They're all big people. Some of them are highly learned also. And they had contributed also. One of these Shankaracharyas was responsible for this book called Swarajya-siddhi, Sankshepa Shārīrakam, even Panchadashi, etc. They are all Shankaracharyas. Vidyaranya was Shankaracharya of Sringeri. And therefore, they all have contributed a lot. And maybe this Aparokṣa Anubhuti is from one of those Shankaracharyas, but attributed to Adi Shankara. He writes the book with a prayer. You are not supposed to write a book without prayer. Either you pray mentally or you indicate suggestively as you write, like Vriddhiradaish. You suggestively, you indicate Atato Brahma Jignasa. The word Atha itself indicates, suggests prayer. Om, Atha, these words indicate prayer. Omkaraha Ata Shabdascha. They are Mangala Suchakau, Mangalikau Ubhau. Brahmanaha kantam vitva viniryatau tasmat mangalika ubau. Traditionally, they are associated with something mangalam. They were the first words pronounced by Brahmaji before he started the creation. Okay, Om Atha, started Jagat. Jagat banaya. Like khichdi banane ke baad, pehle, before cooking also, it's a association. By association, these two words indicate Mangala. Mangala means prayer. Let the undertaking be complete. Any beginning, be complete. One completion is, let the book be complete. The other completion is the purpose for which the book is written. Let that be served. We are reading now this book. The second prayer is fulfilled. First prayer is fulfilled because the book is complete. Let the book reach the right hands. These are all the purposes of prayer. There is an argument. Never read a book which doesn't have a prayer. Think of that. Don't read a book that doesn't have a prayer. Because that person doesn't have a proper attitude. What is it you are going to learn from that book? This kind of thinking also is there. This has prayer. Either suggestively they pray or expressly or even mentally. One can offer one's prayer before writing. Here, there is a verse dedicated. Aham namāmi, I salute. Then the salute, I salute, namāmi, is a transitive verb. It has an object. What is the object of salutation? Whom you are saluting? The Lord I am saluting. What is that Lord? A name is given. śrīhariṃ. Hari, harati papāni iti Hari. The one who removes all our papas. Whom we pray to neutralize all our papa karma. Papa means not sin. What is the translation? Remover of the sins. It is not given. In a book is it? Whose book is this? Somebody has translated. It has got a Hindi also. It doesn't matter. You have something to go by. That's why they printed it. It's good. Because Hari, the word is there, because the Papa is not there. Whose grace can neutralize all papas, duritas, anything that causes unpleasant situations is called a papa. There is no English word for papa. The closest word I have already said in another session, papa. Harati papani. The one whose knowledge will remove all the anarthas, all my afflictions centered on I, samsara. The Lord's name. Harihi, Haraha. Śrīhariṃ. Śrīyayuktaḥ. The one who is endowed with Shri, Maya, Shakti, Lakshmi. The power of Maya. We will be discovering all that. So, Śrīyayuktaḥ, the Lord, who is happily married, tam śrīhariṃ namāmi. All others are, other words are adjectives to Śrīhari. Who is this Śrīhari? Paramānandam. Who is Anandaha? Whose very Swarupa, like a sugar crystal. Which part of sugar crystal is sweet? Eh? Which part of sugar crystal is sweet? The whole crystal. There are sugar crystals, big crystals. It's a crystal. Each small square forming big square. It's a crystal like any crystal. When there is saturation of sugar, it crystallizes. Why I am telling this because some of you may not have seen even sugar crystal. Here only you see sugar. It pours when it rains. Molten salt like. Both of them are the same. Sometimes you get in coffee this one also instead of sugar. I got once. It tasted some kind of coffee rasam. இது மாதிரி கூட ரசம் பண்ணுவாளோ? So, the whole crystal, the middle of it, the top of it, all of it is nothing but sweetness. If you need an example, a very sweet example. This is Parameshwara, the Lord is Ananda. And that is what you want to be, Ananda. That is why we are invoking the Lord. For this Ananda, the very nature of the Lord is Ananda. Being Ananda, it has no lack. There is no lack. Lack means there is nothing deficient. It is Purna, it is fullness. The secret is, being fullness, it's not separate from you. Understand? What is whole? What is full? In other words, what is limitless? It is Parama, limitless. It cannot be separate from you. So in the form of a verse of prayer, the subject matter, the purushartha, the phalam, what do you get out of this study is also pointed out. What is the subject matter? Śrīhariṃ is the subject matter. Sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ. the cause of this entire world, sarvalokānāṃ. If there are different spheres, in this jagat, what we call jagat, all that is here, bhuhu, bhuvaha, suvaha, mahaha, janaha, tapaha, satyam, savanap. Savanap. Once you say seven up, there is seven below also, seven down. Means entire. All that is there. Sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ, the cause of this entire world. Who is the Lord? The whole subject matter. This one verse is enough for the entire camp. Because he is expanding it, I am going to proceed. Sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ vyāpakaṃ, who is all pervasive, who is the nimitta upadana kāraṇaṃ, who is the maker, who is the material cause, who is manifest in the form of entire jagat. Sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ vyāpakaṃ. Abhinna nimitta upadanam, with the maker and the material cause of this entire jagat, whose swarupa is paramānandam. So, śrīhariṃ paramānandam, who is Ishvara, the tatpada vāchyam, who is one side of the sentence. The sentence revealing entire Vedanta, the sentence that is Vedanta. Tatvamasi. That's how it is written, T-A-T, tat, tit for tat, tat, tvam, T-V-A-M, tat tvam, ase. So tatomasi. In India, they say tattvamasi. Otherwise, this is the common thing, tatomasi. Tattvam asi. It's an equation. You are that. That is a pronoun standing for the Lord, the cause of this entire world. Not only the maker and the material cause too. That is why vyāpakaṃ. Sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ vyāpakaṃ. Abhinna nimitta upadanam, the one who is the maker material. Material cause means the effect cannot be separate from the material. Like your shirt. Cotton is the material. You are wearing cotton. I remove the cotton, you can have a shirt. The emperor's clothes. You can have the royal robes, emperor's clothes, minus the fabric. Shirt is the fabric. Fabric is yarn. Yarn is cotton fibers if it is cotton. Understand? There is where the product is, there the material cause is. Therefore, the cause of this entire Jagat, when I use the word, I include my body, mind, sense complex and everything else that is there. Starts from here. Known and unknown. That is called Jagat, Idam Jagat. It's not separate from the cause, the maker. Because the maker is the material. From one standpoint, material, from another standpoint, maker. Therefore, vyāpakaṃ, sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ, Ishvaram, tatpada vāchyam, the meaning of the tat. And who is the teacher's teacher? Who is the source of this knowledge? There is this problem. Who is to introduce Ishvara? The one who knows Ishvara. Correct? Who is to introduce Ishvara? The one who knows Ishvara. The one who knows Ishvara, how does one know Ishvara? The knowers, a knower knows whatever the knower can objectify through the means of knowledge. The means of knowledge you have is good enough to earn your food, distinguish edible from not edible, perhaps. You have to add everything, perhaps. And retrieve your email. Some of these things you have. You can gather through these means of knowledge what you can objectify. How will you know Ishvara? If he happens to be you, how will you know? You are looking for Ishvara. Yelli idare. Eh? Where is Ishvara? You are looking for Ishvara. And that person is Ishvara. The one who looks for Ishvara is Ishvara. It's too much. This is too much. If that is so, I need to be told. Ishvara has to be introduced to me. How? I have no means of knowing. Nobody else like me has the means of knowing. Therefore, I require a teacher. It always looks as though this teacher is a special person. So, drop out from the heavens. Drop down, okay? Who is this special person, this teacher? Big beard? Teacher is what? Every teacher has a teacher. His or teacher. That teacher also has a teacher. Teacher as a teacher, as a teacher, as a teacher, is a teacher. Then this fellow, is a great thinker. He asks, yes, Swami, who is the original teacher? Why? I must answer always questions. Why don't you also answer one or two questions? I ask you. Is there any rule that I have to answer questions? You answer one or two questions. Okay. Who is your first father? Mother too. My first father? If you name somebody who has a father, and this fellow scratched his head and told, first father. A Darwinian answer. First father is a monkey. For this, itna time laga. My first father, original father, is a monkey. It goes without saying. Because if you watch this fellow together for a few minutes, you can really figure out the whole thing. Cheshta. But that monkey also has a monkey father. Who is the original father? If you say, the cause of this entire Jagat is the cause, the original father, mother, if you say, then the original teacher also is Ishvara. Doesn't take time. we will discover this Ishvara, I am sure, during our discussion on this book. There will be occasion. What is this Ishvara? What is Ishvara? What is all knowledge? There is nothing other than knowledge. It's all knowledge. Hardly there is hardware. It's all software. It's all knowledge. That's Ishvara. Therefore, the original, the prime source of all knowledge, if all that is there is all knowledge, there is no new knowledge. New knowledge is nothing but scraping off whatever that covers knowledge. Correct? All discoveries are removal of ignorance. It's a great contribution, Indian contribution. Ajnana nivartakam jnanam. Knowledge is already there. Removal of ignorance alone is knowledge. Really, no import. If there is a vastu, if there is an object, the truth about the object is knowledge. The truth about the object is knowledge. That object itself, I am saying, is nothing but knowledge. Flower, if you say, it is pure knowledge. Namāmyaham. Meaning. Nama means meaning. Word, flower. It's just knowledge. You won't see any flower there. Flower is reduced to petals. Then petal knowledge. Then petal is reduced to something else. And that knowledge. Knowledge, all the way knowledge. Removal of ignorance alone is knowing. There is nothing but knowledge. Therefore, what's the big deal? Who is the source of knowledge? Always the source of knowledge is Ishvara. There is no mortal involved here. Even though somebody may teach you, but that somebody himself owes to Ishvara. And when you understand also, it is Ishvara's jnana. And therefore the student is also nothing but knowledge which belongs to Ishvara. And the teacher also is that knowledge alone. Anyway, when you go in the parampara, the initiator of this knowledge is Ishvara. not only initiate. Sarvajñatvam implies the availability of that sarvajñatvam even now. Assuming that you all have exposed, you are all exposed to this knowledge. Assuming, I am going to tell all this later, if there is one limitless consciousness, knowledge is already there in the limitless consciousness. You are that limitless consciousness. Knowledge is already there. What is it that denies you the knowledge? No, except I don't know. There is no other factor. Except I don't know, there is nothing that can deny you that knowledge. This I don't know goes away in the wake of knowledge. And therefore, real upadeshta, the real teacher, the original teacher is Ishvara. Upadeshṭāramīśvaram, śrīhariṃ, paramānandam, and who is tampadartha, tampadalakshya, who is limitless fullness, ananda, who is the very nature of you. This is the Tattvamasi Mahavakya. This is the subject matter of Vedanta. śrīhariṃ paramānandam upadeshṭāramīśvaram vyāpakaṃ sarvalokānāṃ kāraṇaṃ tam aham namāmi. That Ishvara, aham, I salute. Let us proceed, otherwise we will be stuck in this. Aparokṣa Anubhutirvai procyate mokṣasiddhaye sadbhireṣā prayatnena vīkṣaṇīyā muhurmuhuḥ. Vīkṣaṇīyā sadbhihi iyam vīkṣaṇīyā. This is not meant for just reading. This is meant for seeing. This is something to be seen, intimately understood, very clearly understood. This has to be seen, analyzed, understood thoroughly. One has to go back to this again and again. Muhurmuhuḥ vīkṣaṇīyā. Again and again, you have to look at this to understand. This is not a book. This is a mirror. It's a mirror. Nobody is tired of looking at himself in the mirror. Even though a fellow has got a cataract, all kinds of problems, doesn't totally accept himself, still never tired of looking at any reflecting surface available, looking at himself. एक दफा तो कर दिया. Before coming out of the house, already he has seen. Then getting into the car, he turns the mirror and looks at himself and then fixes it up properly and then starts the car. Then goes to work and then gets into the elevator. There again, they have got this. There again looks at himself. Any surface, even a bald head, when he gets any chance to see himself in any reflecting medium, fellow always looks at himself. How many times? Early morning getting up to see whether nose is there or not. If any rat had a fancy for your nose in the night, you don't know. So checking up is all legitimate. Everything is there, okay, theek hai. How many times you will see? And suppose you calculate how many times I might have seen during my lifetime my face in a mirror. Just calculate. This is, whenever you have leisure time, calculate. Amazing. It's not that you are in love with yourself. You have got your own hatred for yourself. There is so much self-loath. But still, you transcend your body and you love yourself. All the time, looking at the mirror. Vedanta is little more, because it is a mirror to help you see you are paramānanda. All the time, you are nitya shuddha, you are all purity. You are all purity. You want to see. You are all ananda. You are not subject to death. Oh, you are everywhere. Really? You were there before Big Bang. Really? Yes. You are Big Bang. I am Big Bang. Yes, you are Big Bang. Really? How? Look. Dekho. This is Vedanta. You never get tired. Therefore, I need not give a mandate, vīkṣaṇīyā muhurmuhuḥ. Only I have to set up a mirror, that's enough. You will see. I need not request, this is a mirror, everyone should see this mirror. I don't need to say. If there is a mirror, that's enough. Everybody is going to see that. Therefore, we need not request, but then never assume that it's all over. It's never over. Intimately it has to be understood. Muhurmuhuḥ vīkṣaṇīyā sadbhireṣā mokṣasiddhaye. For gaining moksha, freedom from becoming, all that is necessary is understanding this subject matter. The subject matter of this book known as Aparokṣa Anubhuti. That is the subject matter, and that is exactly the very understanding. The subject matter is meant for Aparokṣa Anubhuti. If there is a book called Atma Bodha, self-knowledge, and that is the subject matter. What do you get out of Atma Bodha is self-knowledge. Aparokṣa Anubhuti. The book is meant for Aparokṣa Anubhuti. Immediate knowledge of yourself. So mokṣasiddhaye, muhurmuhuḥ vīkṣaṇīyā. Further, all the other details you will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.